And cocoa down $23 a ton, as you saw on our commodity board there. That's subject for our first story tonight because there's trouble brewing over there. Cocoa carriers have rejected a 20 peso increment for offloading a bag of cocoa following talks with management of Cocoa Board. The proposal from Cocoa Board would have meant that the cocoa carriers would receive 82 pesos for offloading a bag, but the workers are demanding 1 cedi. They have been on an indefinite strike, nationwide strike, for a second day. We start off from Tema, where our correspondent Kwame Yanka has been following protests.
According to the cocoa carriers, cocoa marketing company does not have their interests at heart, leading to their current condition. For them, nothing has been done about their condition of service in the last 5 years, and a strike is the only means to drum home their concerns. The strike, they say, could affect haulage of cocoa for exports. The angry workers say they are given a paltry 31 pesos for offloading, an additional 31 pesos for stacking, despite risks they are exposed to. Speaking to Joy Business in Tema, the cocoa carriers are asking for increment from 62 pesos to 1 cedi per bag.
When you come to pick 1 cocoa bag, and that they will give you 31 pesos, and at the end of the day, I cannot even buy you a pure water, common pure water to drink. How then do you take care of your families? How then will you now be able to take a car from wherever you are coming from?
If you say I buy no for the first Caribbean kind of home, I'm buying 1 cedi per 1 bag. Because Coca-Cola, you man, Cannibal, you go them, near Sanswa. If you Cannibal, we have 50 pesos. What's Sanswa got up 50 pesos?
First, now come to 62 pesos per bag, and we are then lay and load, which means laying only 31 pesos.
Yeah, you will cry uniform, Papa cry nibi. Yeah, never fire sick out of Tonta, Abaya Juma. Your poor Juma crime, sooner you best out dry it at your coffee, nibi.
You best start to a food now. Empty Yasima Kangram. I can't in Yabantin and you go on coins are far away bastard. Then Johnny to sell a from where they are back on to.
All right, so those were some workers there essentially talking about what they have to go through, being paid 62 pesos for stacking and offloading cocoa bags, a bag going for 62 pesos. Now we're hearing that Cocoa Board was proposing 82 pesos. The workers are demanding 1 cedi. We are joined on the phone by chairman of the cocoa carriers based in Kumasi, Tema and Takrade, Abobiga Raymond Atanga. Grateful for your time tonight. How did your meeting go with management of Cocoa Board? Can you hear me?
You have to go to
Raymond, can you hear me?
Hello.
Raymond, you are live on JoyNews. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can.
How did your meeting with the management of Cocoa Board go?
Okay.
Hello, Raymond.
I would like to say good evening to the general public. Yes, of course, the management of Cocoa Board met with our foremen and not the carriers. And I would like to also say that to err is human, but to forgive is divine. This time around, we were forced to speak hard words. Their meeting with the foreman is invalid. We used to carry the cocoa 62 pesos, offloading and stacking. When we offload the cocoa from the truck into the warehouse, quality control will have to verify whether the cocoa beans are in good condition. And if they qualify the cocoa, then we'll take it and stack again. So which means uploading 31 pesos and stacking 31 pesos for good 5 years. Now, we have been pushing our agenda. They never heed to us, and they kept on telling us that they will surely meet our needs, they will surely attend to us. For good 5 years now, there hasn't been any increment. Despite the hazard and then the risk involved in the work, we, the carriers, were merciful and considerate to serve our nation. But this time around, we are saying that utility bill is increasing, rent bill increasing, healthcare increasing, transportation increasing, food stuff increasing, and most of us are family men. We can no longer even take care of our basic needs, transport ourselves to the workplace. We have been suffering, struggling even to get food to eat even during work. And so we are pleading to the government and Cocoa Board management that they should please give us 1 city. We are not even saying that the 1 city will be able to sort our problems out or is enough for the work we are doing serving the nation, but at least it will serve us better to also have courage to do the work. And we are saying that the 82% they are giving to us, we are not accepting that. Now, why we are not accepting that is because we demanded for 1 city, and then they have been able to increase it to 1 city, 2 pesos. And they decided to give us 82 pesos and deduct 20 pesos to some people who don't know them. They call them directors or contractors who don't even know us. Now, this work we are doing, there's no pension attached to it, so we need to receive our SNP. But the 82 they are giving us now is without SNP. It's without welfare. It's without insurance. So we are just, if we accept this 82 pesos, what we are trying to say to ourselves is that we are risking our future.
So what does that mean? That you are continuing your strike?
You said?
I'm asking, does that mean that you would continue with your strike?
Until they pay us 1 city, we are continuing with the strike.
All right.
If the economy of Ghana is going to suffer, I think it's the management of Cocoa Board and not we, the carriers.
Abobiga Raymond Atanga there, thanks very much for your time. He's chairman for Cocoa Carriers based in Kumasi, Takoradi, and Tema. Appreciate your time there. So basically, Cocoa Board proposed an 82 peso charge for a bag of cocoa. That would mean 20 peso increment, and the workers, as you've heard from Raymond, are not pleased with that, and they are going to continue their strike. We'll keep following for you. There's another meeting we are monitoring today. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has met leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association and the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana over the scrapping of the benchmark value policy on 43 selected items. The meeting was expected to iron out any challenge as a result of the implementation of the directive by government. Now, the two groups have kicked against the implementation of the reversal, initially targeted at reducing import duty of those items. Joining us now, Samson Asaki-Awingobit, who is Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Happy New Year to you, Samson. Any positive outcome from that meeting with the Finance Minister today?
Happy New Year to you too. Darren, it's been a long time that we've not met, but I think you guys have been doing a good job for the business industry, and we are most grateful for the kind of reception that anytime you hear about our stories, we are always there to speak with us. Yes, today we had the opportunity, as we rightly said, to have been in the meeting. My outfit, Food and Beverage Association, gave IJAC a Cuba. All of us were in our presence. Then our friends from the AGI side also came, led by the current new president of the AGI and his executive. The minister himself came to the meeting to chair us with his deputy minister and his management team. Then in that meeting, of course, whilst it has a relation to the GRA, for that matter, the Customs Division was led by the Commissioner of Customs. Colonel was there himself. And so we were given the opportunity to present our issues adequately. All we are saying is that we just came back from New Year, and it's the first quarter of the year. Finances of business community is not all that best. Ghanaian consuming public financial status is not all that best. The cost of living at the moment is too high, and with benchmark values, you saw how Ghanaians were complaining during Christmas. And now, if government wants to take the benchmark 50% discount and a 30% discount from the business community, it's going to cause overburden and injuries on the business community, and not just the business community, via the vis-a-vis the consuming public. We made government know that, again, we were not consulted, as the GRA commissioner letter to him wanted to say that stakeholders were engaged. We were not consulted. And so this is the first time we were going to wholly engage with him to discuss the issue. He listened to us personally, we listened to AGI, then he said government would communicate to us. I think we are waiting for government to give us a communique by close of And what we're expecting is already the pot is choked. People are not going. Those who have the tax bill to pay, they could not pay. The whole of today, the system has been down. It's not that the ICUM is not working. ICUM is working, but they are just waiting for instructions from the GRA. We appeal to government that we want this suspension to be done sine die until further notice. We want government to suspend it and let us engage with each other and come up with an amicable solution. At least if you go to a negotiation table, you probably will be looking for 100%, but you're not going to get 100%. Maybe we'll end up having maybe 60 or 70%. And we think that because through the Minister of Finance himself admitted in one of his press engagement that there was a need, if they are to reverse the 50% discount and the 30% discount from the business committee, they have to find ways and means to mitigate us.
Okay.
Mitigate us, where is the mitigation? On the day it was announced, government have not come out to tell us the mitigation. And so we strongly believe that we cannot pass on the cost to the final consumer. Even if you are passing, as we speak now, if you go to Tama and other areas, cold stores are full to the brim. Things are not moving. So we don't think this is the right time for government to, as a matter of fact, reverse this 10% and 30% discount.
My last question to you, what happens, I know ultimately you want the reversal to be scrapped. What happens if you don't get that demand? And you talk about a compromise. What would be the perfect compromise?
Well, we cannot say now. That's why we have called that one, first and foremost, we're not engaged. One, the engagement to start. WTO even give that opportunity to us. And two, we want them to suspend the sine die until further notice. After we engage and we come, then of course we will put a cut. They will also put a cut, and we'll see at the end of the day where we are reach. We will have amicable solution to reach out to a compromise state. But as it stands now, we think that the suspension must be done until further notice. We need proper, not just one-time engagement. We need to engage proper. WTO will give you that. We are bringing a policy of this status. We need to engage your people, if not less than 3 months in the calendar of a year. And so at least even they give you 2 months or even a month, about 6 citizens definitely will reach at the point. But as we stand now, we are calling on the government to suspend and allow importers to go ahead to pay current duties and taxes to the government.
Samson Asakia Wingobet, he is Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. We will wait and see if the Finance Minister grants your request for the suspension of the reversal of the benchmark discounts. Now, ratings agency Fitch has expressed a neutral outlook for African banks this year as uncertain business conditions as COVID-19 risk constrain recovery. It is, however, anticipating a slightly faster rise in lending, with most economies growing at an appreciable rate. Fitch says the banks are likely to make mistakes in the pursuit of growth under prevailing operating conditions, which are fraught with challenges and uncertainty, predicting a return to normalization next year or a few years to come. Well, meanwhile, former managing director of Amal Bank, now Bank of Africa, Mensin Tokunu, has been reacting to the latest report from Fitch on African banks. He tells Joy Business many of the African banks operating in Ghana have made appreciable recovery from the impact of COVID-19 and therefore will make significant gains this year.
Appreciable recovery. If you look at the third quarter performance, I believe that the banks are going to be building on it, and the financials that are going to be churned out by the end of the year, I think in a couple of months, is going to show that African banks are doing very well. For me, I am very, very much optimistic. Whenever a lot of people, especially non-Africans, are saying that Africans are lagging, I think they do not know what they are saying. We are making appreciable recoveries, irrespective of COVID. And you can agree with me that the expectation of the outside world against Africa for COVID-19, they were all disappointed. Even though businesses have been hit, I beg to differ that we are recovering. And especially 2022 is going to be a great year for African banks.
Well, but the risk of COVID-19 still lingers, because in recent times we heard there are new variants, and that could pose a threat to most economies on the continent. That's why basically the ratings agency might say that let's look a bit cautious in order not to give too much expectations going forward.
Okay, I think the Americans and the Europeans are having the effect of the new variants. If you look at the rate at which it's affecting Africa, and for that matter, splitting over our business activities, you realize that I wouldn't say Africa is lucky, but I think we are doing very well in Africa, irrespective of the fact that we have some foreign banks. The banks are in Ghana and they are going to be doing very well. I don't think, for example, if ABSA needs assistance, of course, ABSA is already an African bank. Any Standard Chartered, okay, if they need any assistance to do big time credits, they will refuse them. I believe that we are going to make appreciable recovery, and the world is going to be surprised at the rate at which our banks are going to be making recovery, irrespective of the new variants that we are hearing every day.
Well, coming back to Ghana, we've seen some level of improvement in the general banking industry. I guess, despite the challenges the world is facing with COVID, what do you make of the Ghanaian situation? I mean, the Ghanaian banking industry.
Yeah, the only problem with the Ghanaian banks is how banks have done business with government, and government is constrained, as it were. They are not paying them. But there are innovative ways of doing business. For me, I think if the banks concentrate on the SMEs, and they have very good checks and credit ratings for them, I believe that they will do very well. Every economy thrives on the SMEs, and I believe that most of the banks, they have given more attention and more credit to the middle level, that is the SMEs. And I think that is where we are going to be making a lot of profit. Most of the banks are doing very well, I tell you honestly. When you look at, let's wait for a couple of weeks, the figures for 2021 are going to be out, and everybody will be surprised.
Should we expect a rise in lending for this year?
An appreciable rise. Well, there will be an appreciable rise. Banks, the business of banking is lending. I mean, if you put your money in treasury bills, treasury management, you won't get much. But it is lending. That is what is going to be the case. And banks know how to go after, their debtors when they lend them money. There is no bank that's going to be just throwing money away, but there is a way that there will be strict lending and control.
So what is generally the outlook of the banking industry vis-a-vis the business environment?
I know that banks could have been doing better, but because almost all businesses are constrained. But I believe that there will be an appreciable growth even for 2022.
The thoughts of Mercy Tokunu there. You're watching Business Live. We'll take a short break soon, but I want to alert you about Joy Business Social coming up at the top of the hour, the first show for the year. And we'll be talking building your brand with Ecommerce, the founder and CEO of Tano, also Bernard Kelvin Clive, brand strategist, BKC consultant. That's at the top of the hour, 6 p.m. across our social media platforms. Don't miss it. You're watching Business Live. We will be right back. And a final one for us tonight. Executive Chairman of Celtel Networks Limited and one of the pioneers of Ghana's tech industry, Dr. Prince Kofi Klugeson, is urging government to prioritize strengthening e-commerce to fully realize the digitalization agenda. According to Mr. Klugeson, or Dr. Klugeson, the foundation to building resilient financial services is e-commerce, hence implementing a law for the next generation will crystallize the agenda.
After agreement, African Continental Agreement, Ghana is a headquarters for trade. And in that trade, it's about 60% digitalization. If you look at the vice president, he's been pumping and pumping and pumping. That Ghana must go because gold, diamond, oil and gas, all of them are all gone. It's not a futuristic revenue anymore. So the Minister of Finance is smart to see that maybe let me get revenue from here. But we must have to allow it to mature. Now, when you look at the children, in Ghana today, our children are very, very smart, and can do anything. When you go home, give your children smartphone and Wi-Fi, they keep quiet. They know how to do it already. So the next trend for the next 10 years is e-commerce. now Ghana, we are drumming a lot of fintech again. You see, Ghana has focused a lot only on financial services. So everybody getting collapsing. But the foundation to build that financial services, if you look at MTN, Cyril Ramaphosa was then the general secretary. He pulled out, Nelson Mandela signed what they call a black empowerment. I think what the Minister of Finance, government should be doing is to move a bill for equity laws for our young people in this country. Because whatever they are building, they'll get bought like we all suffered and struggled. It must not happen again. We tried NAPCOs or whatever. So I think that a bill, there are very smart guys in Parliament. I know most of them. Most of them are mentees. They are so smart that they came from somewhere. Let us make sure that let us stall small. It's a good thing to generate money, but let's stall small and transform this whole country into a major digital economy, as Bamia is saying.
You were just saying that the digital penetration is weak.
Very weak, yeah.
And so I'm wondering why you are starting off with manufacturing and not helping solve the weak part of things, because when people have cell phones, if they have laptops, they will come back to the weak systems to use the devices.
Okay, there are two projects that are going on.
Okay.
Where you are right now is a telecom site.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a cell tower that is going to provide all the networks. We began already. Internet for every home, Wi-Fi for everywhere.
Okay.
We are going to give a most affordable Wi-Fi from next year.
Okay.
Every home, all journalists, everybody will have it. We're going to have,
I thought you said I'm not a journalist.
The only difference about it is that, if you look at, say, the Qatar tidal wave business, is when you go to Qatar, what you see is not tidal wave.
So a bit of that interview Odilia and Tiama had with Dr. Prince Kofi Kujasen, Executive Chairman of Celtel Networks. The full interview will be airing on tomorrow's edition of The Marketplace. Don't miss it. And that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Daryl Kwao. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Goodbye.